I convinced my sister to leave her abusive husband, but now he's threatening to take everything from her. My sister, Lily, was the kind of person who always saw the good in others, even when there wasn't any to be found. That's how she ended up with James, a man who seemed charming at first but quickly showed his true colors after the wedding. The bruises, the controlling behavior, the endless gaslighting, it was all too much for her, but she was too afraid to leave. Every time I tried to talk to her about it, she'd make excuses, saying he didn't mean it, that it was her fault, or that he would change. But deep down, I knew she was trapped, and I couldn't just stand by and watch her suffer. I spent months convincing her to leave him. Every phone call ended in tears, every visit to their home left me with a pit in my stomach. But I didn't give up. I couldn't. Lily was more than just my sister. She was my best friend, and I was determined to save her, no matter the cost. Finally, after one particularly bad night, she called me, her voice trembling with fear. "I'm ready," she said. And just like that, we began planning her escape. We had to move quickly. James was unpredictable, and we couldn't risk him finding out what we were up to. Lily and I packed her things in secret, arranging for her to stay with me until she could figure out her next steps. The night she left, I was a bundle of nerves, afraid James would catch on and try to stop us. But somehow, we made it out, and for the first time in years, I saw a glimmer of hope in my sister's eyes. The relief was short-lived. A few days after she left, James showed up at my door, demanding to see her. His face was a mask of rage, his fists clenched at his sides. I stood my ground, refusing to let him in, but I could see the danger in his eyes. He wasn't going to let her go that easily. Over the next few weeks, James made our lives a living hell. He called non-stop, leaving threatening messages, vowing to take Lily back whether she liked it or not. He harassed her at work, showed up outside my apartment at all hours, and even tried to turn our family against us, claiming that Lily was the one who was unstable, that she was lying about the abuse. It was a nightmare, and I could see the toll it was taking on my sister. She was terrified, constantly looking over her shoulder, afraid that James would follow through on his threats. Then, the legal battles began. James was a master manipulator, and he used every trick in the book to make Lily's life miserable. He tried to drain their joint bank account, leaving her with nothing. He filed false claims against her, trying to paint her as an unfit wife. And the worst part, he threatened to take her beloved dog, the one companion who had given her comfort through all the dark times. Lily was devastated, and I could see the weight of it all crushing her spirit. But we weren't going to give up. I helped Lily find a lawyer, someone who specialized in domestic abuse cases, who could fight back against James' relentless attacks. It wasn't easy. Every court date was a battle, every interaction with James was a reminder of the hell Lily had endured. But slowly, bit by bit, we began to turn the tide. We gathered evidence, documented every threat, every instance of harassment, every lie he tried to spread. The more we dug, the more we uncovered about James' dark past, things he had hidden from everyone, even Lily. And when we finally presented it all in court, the judge saw James for what he really was, a manipulative, abusive man who had no right to control my sister's life. In the end, Lily was granted a restraining order, and James was ordered to stay away from her, her job, and our family. She was able to keep her dog, her money, and most importantly, her freedom. The victory was bittersweet. Lily had lost years of her life to that man, and the scars he left would take time to heal. But she was free, and that was all that mattered. As we walked out of the courthouse, I looked at my sister and saw the strength in her that had been buried for so long. She wasn't just a victim, she was a survivor. And though the road ahead would be long, I knew she would make it, because she wasn't alone. We had fought together, suffered together, and come out on the other side. And now, finally, Lily could start rebuilding her life, one step at a time, with the knowledge that no one would ever take her power away again.